So we were getting ready to talk about the NBA draft and some potential second-round targets if Rob Pelinka were to buy a second-round pick. And then Adrian Wojnarowski dropped this Woj bomb about the Lakers' interest in Kyrie Irving. So we switched gears, and this is why you subscribe, because we move faster than anybody to give you the best Lakers coverage, whether it's on the news and rumors front, or the head coaching search, NBA draft or free agency, maybe even some trade rumors. We do it all here on the channel, so make sure you subscribe, and in doing so, you'll help us get to 47,000 subscribers. Welcome into the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Senior. A loaded show coming your way, and it's all brought to you by our friends at Aura, the all-in-one digital safety tool that can keep you and your family safe. Millions of people get their credit and debit cards hacked per year and their identities stolen. With Aura, you don't have to worry about that. Link for a free 14-day trial available in the comment section and the description. We'll tell you more about them coming up right around the corner. Obviously, we start off with the biggest storyline currently happening right now, in my opinion, in the NBA, and that is Kyrie Irving. Is he going to go back to Brooklyn? There was that impasse between him and the organization. Or is he going to go to the Los Angeles Lakers? According to Adrian Wojnarowski, the Lakers, quote, considered the most significant threat to land him. Here's what he had to say on ESPN. Kyrie's options outside of the Nets, especially if the Nets are not willing or don't get engaged in sign and trade talks, are limited right now. And the Lakers are considered the most significant threat for Kyrie. But that would essentially entail him taking $30 million less than he can opt into in Brooklyn. There's also a $6 million taxpayer exemption he would sign with the Lakers. Now, most people would say a player is not going to give up that much money, but Kyrie Irving gave up nearly $17 million last year because of his refusal to get vaccinated. He's in the process of losing that shoe deal right now with Nike as well. So I think the Nets have gone into this with their eyes open that it's possible that he could walk. Lastly, from Woj, he has done things Kyrie has differently in his career, but I think there's a sweet spot for the Nets and Kyrie to find a deal. How about this from Mark Stein, though, on top of what Woj had to say? There are credible rumblings in circulation that Irving, for starters, has indeed had some recent contact with his fellow former teammate and friend LeBron James to presumably discuss a potential reunion in Hollywood. I'm told it would be a stretch, though, to suggest that the Lakers are currently pursuing Irving. Now, there's so much to get to and unpack with Kyrie maybe coming to the City of Angels, but first, I want to hear from all of you in the comment section. A lot of you are emotional, a lot of you are fired up, a lot of you are excited. I used a couple of one words there, so with that, I ask you this. What is your one-word reaction to all of this Kyrie Irving buzz? Let me know in the comment section right now. For me, my one word is fascinating, because on so many fronts, it is indeed fascinating. If he leaves Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets, it's one of the biggest mistakes in the history of basketball for KD to leave Golden State, go to Brooklyn. He gets Kyrie to follow him. He gets to trade for James Harden, and in the span of a couple of years, that feared threesome is no longer. And then also it's just Kyrie leaving KD in Brooklyn. It's also him teaming back up with LeBron James in Los Angeles. And you would imagine that a year after the Lakers had traded for Russell Westbrook, they send him packing to move some salary to bring in Kyrie Irving. This, in turn, would send ripple effects and a monster message across all NBA circles. Were the initial rumors a leverage play by Kyrie's camp due to stalled talks? That's kind of what we've been talking about over the last couple of days, about that impasse between him and the Brooklyn Nets. But there's been some other teams linked, and why wouldn't there be other teams linked with Kyrie Irving? He's one of the most gifted basketball players that we've ever seen. He has the ball on a string, a marvelous handle, one of the fine finishers at the rim among all guards throughout NBA history. Other teams linked outside the Lakers, Clippers, and the Knicks in his hometown of New York both have their own obstacles to land Kyrie. With the Knicks, it's clearing up a little bit of money and making a move to trade for him. For the Clippers, they'd have to go deep into that luxury tax, but we know Steve Ballmer, with his reactions on the sideline, the baseline, wherever he's sitting, he just wants to win a championship. He'll pay as much money as he has to. He's like the richest owner in the NBA. This also coming from Mark Stein. The Heat are believed to also have some interest. They fell short in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'd say they're about a star player short from truly competing for the Larry O.B. and winning an NBA championship. They also have some more valuable assets in a potential trade. Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, maybe Bam Adebayo, but I'd be surprised by that. The point here being Miami is always star hunting. Hashtag heat culture with Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley. They're always all in on trying to win a championship, and if landing Kyrie, in their opinion, helps them do that, I guarantee you, they will be interested. I'm no longer interested in Aura because I'm already hopping on board, and I'm all in on Aura. You should be too. Start your free trial today by going to aura.com/chatsports. Think about it, right? We do more online nowadays than ever. With our credit cards, our debit cards living online, all of our information in online circles. Well, Aura does everything and more to keep you and your family safe. What's really cool is this feature here to my right. You get near real-time alerts on suspicious credit inquiries. For instance, somebody hacks your bank account. Somebody goes on a spending spree with your debit card that you left somewhere, or they just hack your information. Aura will let you know. 14-day free trial if you plug in that link. Going to put that link in the comment section and the description of this video. Keep yourself and your family safe by signing up today. Kyrie's last 4 seasons, what's been consistent? Not necessarily his play, it's him missing a lot of games. 2019-20, 20 games played. This past year, because he refused to get vaxxed, 29 games played. Now, you look at the numbers from this past season, they were really, really good. But Kyrie was basically at some points throughout the regular season playing like 1 or 2 games every 10 days to a week. So that allowed him to have some really fresh legs. And with that career high in his 3-point percentages, 27 points per game, 6 assists. I actually thought he played some pretty solid defense at stretches when he had to and when he was asked to. But you look at the scoring numbers. Never a problem with Kyrie Irving. He can certainly dazzle you with his handle, in and out of double teams, in and out of traffic, finding a way to get to the cup. This guy is a special, special basketball player. He's just a little bit flaky. Flat earth theory guy, and hasn't always been available because of that and because of him just being a little bit injury prone, but arguably best handles ever. But you take a look at the missed games here. 52 during the 2019-2020 season. Missed 18 games 2 years ago, and this past year, 53 games. And I'll tell you what, the Brooklyn Nets could have really used Kyrie Irving, especially when KD was out, especially after they traded away James Harden and they got zilch after that Ben Simmons trade. They needed Kyrie, and he was unreliable. It's a little bit of a concern moving forward, but he's one of the most gifted players of all time and certainly one of the most gifted offensive players of this era, a special ability to score the basketball and make something out of nothing, and has one of the most iconic shots in the history of the NBA Finals. What I also like, some self-realization. Some self-improvement. He has admitted that he messed up the Cleveland tenure alongside LeBron James. They could have been a deadly 1-2 combo for a really long time. They won that championship a couple years ago over the Golden State Warriors. That Celtics tenure was an absolute disaster. I just don't think it was a right fit right from the get-go, but at least Kyrie, to a certain degree, has admitted his flaws, and we as people, sometimes we have to do that. So if you want Kyrie in LA, I want to hear from you, and you have an opportunity to show me that you want Kyrie in Los Angeles. So if you want him in LA, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. I also have really weird thumbs. You see that? If you don't want the Lakers to go after Kyrie Irving, comment why, or you can just comment that I have weird thumbs. Either way, follow that task right now. Coming up next on the show, some Kyrie Irving trade ideas. We cooked up some really good ones for you, but first, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You do not want to miss all of the great content that we've been pushing out damn near every single day right here on the Lakers Report. You see the link down below. It's flashing thanks to the OG producer, Sam Brown. It's youtube.com/LakersTV. We have you covered through the season, off-season, news, rumors, trades, free agency, and much, much more. Trade idea number 1. It's a 3-teamer. Lakers receive Kyrie. You get rid of Russell Westbrook. He goes to Charlotte, and because of that, gets to team up with Michael Jordan. Jordan brand athlete. You also send away a 2027 first-round pick, which at the end of the day, who cares? We put a lottery protection on it, which is pretty solid. And then the Nets receive Gordon Hayward, Terry Rozier, and a 2023 second-round pick. My big takeaway from this one, bye-bye Russell Westbrook. Welcome to the City of Angels. Welcome to Tinseltown, Titletown, Kyrie Irving. Kyrie is the younger player, the better player, the more well-rounded player, the better player for nowadays NBA, and you get rid of Russell Westbrook's drama, his maddening and frustrating play, and most importantly, that $47 million salary. Trade idea number 2, another 3-teamer. Kyrie, Joe Harris. So you get a shooter who can stretch the floor a little bit. We'll take a look at his numbers here in a second. Pacers receive Russ and a couple of picks. First rounder in 2025, lottery protected, and a second-round pick via Brooklyn. Nets receive Malcolm Brogdon, Buddy Hield, entail and Horton Tucker. Pretty good haul for the Nets around Kevin Durant. And I think it works for all 3 teams. The Pacers, they're in a rebuild mode. If they don't want Russ beyond this year, they don't need to have him. Let's, though, circle back to Joe Harris. The Lakers last year desperately needed three-point shooting. Joe Harris is a very good three-point shooter, and he would be able to aid the Lakers in that department. Last year had a lot of lingering issues and had to actually get a couple of surgeries. 11-plus points per game, 45% from the floor, nearly 47% from 3. Year before that, knocked down nearly 48% of his three-point attempts. And then the 2 years prior, 42 and 47. Pretty solid player who, again, fits what the Lakers need and what the Lakers want. Trade idea number 3. We're going back to the 3-team well here, and Russell Westbrook gets to go back to OKC. Obviously, probably the most unrealistic of the bunch, but we've seen the Thunder and Sam Presti serve as the dump-off location for large salaries. Maybe they do that with Russ, because we also know Sam Presti likes to collect first-round picks, and he gets that in 2025. Lakers receive Kyrie Irving, and the Nets get Derek Favors, kind of a salary matcher, Mike Muscala, Taylor Horton Tucker, and 2023-2025 second-round picks. I think the losers in this deal would be the Brooklyn Nets, but if Kyrie doesn't want to go back to Brooklyn and they want to get some type of value back, then you get a little bit of value back. But you don't give up much for Kyrie there if you're LA. So give me a number. I want to test you here. I want to see what you all say. The percent chance that the Lakers sign Kyrie Irving, or maybe even attain him as well. Let me know a percentage in the comment section, and keep it locked. We'll have draft coverage coming up for you right around the corner as well. Make sure you subscribe.